Osteosarcoma is a cancer that strikes children, young adults, adolescents.
It is the most common primary bone tumor, meaning it arises in the bone.
The tumor begins there, and hopefully it doesn't metastasize to the lungs, but that often does happen to kids.
And it's a devastating disease for people. It really affects them at such an important point in their life.
When you get a cancer diagnosis, it's not something you're ever prepared for. And as a parent, it is a complete shock because your job as a parent is to protect your child. I lost my daughter to this disease several years ago.
We lost our younger son to this disease. And you can't help thinking when that happens, I wish there'd been more research into this disease.
In addition to hearing that your child has cancer, it's almost worse hearing you have no other options.
There have been no improvements in treatment in over 4 decades. We're doing no better in terms of cure rate and survival.
And this is just unacceptable.
Osteosarcoma represents probably one of the more genomically complex cancers that's out there.
Osteosarcoma is about 1,000 new cases every year.
And therefore, any one institution doesn't have enough patients that they can run clinical trials on their own.
We have been focused on this infrastructure that should start paying dividends, but how can we make it pay dividends faster?
For me, the Osteosarcoma Institute is the answer to the challenges that we've had in bringing new treatments to osteosarcoma.
Osteosarcoma Institute is an organization that was formed to exclusively focus on finding a cure for osteosarcoma.
It's a group of people who want to partner with us as academic researchers, with organizations, with patients, with families, to really change how we treat osteosarcoma to improve those cure rates.
The OSI fosters collaboration in several ways. One is by convening our own scientists on our strategic advisory board,
where we go over literally the strategy that we think are the top priorities that will help move the field forward.
SAB is not just clinicians or patient advocates, but it's all people who are touched by the disease.
The Strategic Advisory Board is deliberating and creating approaches to tackle problems that are distinct.
It brings those minds together to come up with a powerful plan to engage industry, the FDA, to achieve a big goal.
When I think about what the Osteosarcoma Institute has really accomplished, it's astronomical.
The amount of scientific knowledge that we have about the disease has transformed.
We have a much better understanding now of what are the drivers of the disease, what is the complexity of the disease, what are the subtypes of disease.
We know so much better now where we should be looking, and in no small part thanks to the work of the OSI and their partners.
They are really good stewards of how they're giving their money.
It's such an empowering feeling to a donor to know that they are part of the solution. When you donate to OSI, every dollar does go to research.
We make sure to use that money in a way that will actually move the field forward and bring us closer to a cure.
We're beginning to see all of those efforts meld together and creating, I think, what's going to be a very strong direction and impact in this disease, because we owe it to our patients to be able to do better for them.
It's an opportunity to make an impact, certainly in a disease area that really urgently needs progress.
There's a dire unmet need that needs to be addressed that is alluring and motivating for people.
This is the top priority.
My hope is that we reach our mission, which is to have a major impact on the outcome of patients.
These are probably some of the more vulnerable patients when it comes to cancer care.
People need these solutions now.
And quite frankly, it's extremely powerful to have people who care so much about the families and patients with this disease.
The patients that we interact with, the families that we interact with, those that we've already lost, it drives me every single day.
Someday, no child's going to have to die of this disease.
What can you do to make it go faster?